This video will explain how to set humans to transport products. First, open the How to Transport Products by Human.vcmx. We will edit the layout so that the humans carry products from the conveyor to the shelves and transport products from the shelves to the conveyor. To make a human transport products, we will need to first create a process flow. A process is a description of what a component does during a simulation. A process flow specifies how products are transported by connecting the product start point and end point processes. We will create a process flow where the transport of products between processes is allocated to the humans, so that the humans transport the products. This section will explain how to create a process flow. Go to the Process tab, Editor, and click Flow. Click the Connection Source Process node or the process label to change the process node to yellow. Then, click the process node or the process label of another process to which you want to connect to, and this will connect the source process and the destination process with green arrows and will create a process flow. Clicking a process label when creating a process flow will select all processes with the same name on the 3D world. This makes it possible to create a process flow from or to multiple processes at once. The generated green arrows are called transport links, and these arrows show the direction in which the processes are connected to each other. If you play the simulation now, products will not be transported. To make the process flow work in the simulation, it is necessary to add a process to the flow steps in the Process Flow Editor window. There are 4 ways to add a process. By right-clicking on Flow Steps and click Add here to select the process you want to add. By clicking the cross icon on the right to select the process you want to add. By hovering the cursor over the process on the 3D world you want to add and clicking on the process label, and by dragging and dropping the process label into the flow steps. Clicking the process node when creating a process flow will not add it to the flow steps, so use any of these methods instead to add a process. Add a from conveyor to flow steps. Arrange the processes added to the flow steps so that they match the order in which they were connected when the process flow was created. The location of processes in the flow steps can be moved by dragging the processes. Play the simulation. Products are now being transported. Click the Flow Steps diamond icon and press the Delete key. This will delete the transport link and will change the Flow Steps diamond icon to red. This means that there is no connection between the processes and that no process flow has been created. Click the process node selected on the 3D world to deselect it. There are 4 ways to connect processes. The first one is by a one-to-one connection. This is where one process is connected to another process. Click a From Conveyor process node, and then click a Buffer process node. If you play the simulation, the products will be transported from the selected process conveyor to the selected shelf. The second one is by a one-to-many connection. This is where one process is connected to multiple processes. Delete the process flow previously created. If any processes are selected on the 3D world, clicking the process node deselects them. Select a From Conveyor from the flow steps. Click a From Conveyor process node, and then click a Buffer process label. This will create a process flow connecting the selected From Conveyor to the 6 buffer processes. A process will be added when a process label is clicked, even when a process of the same name exists in the flow steps. Delete the buffer at the end of the flow steps. If you play the simulation, products will be transported from the conveyor to the 6 shelves. The third one is by a many-to-one connection. This is where multiple processes are connected to one process. Delete the process flow previously created. To delete a process flow with the same structure in one go, first click the diamond icon in the flow steps. As multiple process flows in the same structure will be selected, they can all be deleted in one go just by pressing the delete key. If any processes are selected on the 3D world, deselect them. Select from conveyor from the flow steps. Click a From Conveyor Process label, and then click a Buffer Process node. This will create a process flow that transports products from the 4 From conveyors to the selected buffer. If you play the simulation, products will be transported from the 4 conveyors to the 1 shelf. The fourth one is by a many-to-many connection. This is where multiple processes are connected to other multiple processes. Delete the process flow previously created. If any processes are selected on the 3D world, deselect them. With From Conveyor under Flow Steps selected, click a From Conveyor Process label on the 3D world, and then click a Buffer Process label. This will create a process flow that transports products from the 4 From conveyors to the 6 buffers. Delete the buffer at the end of the flow steps. If you play the simulation, products will be transported from the 4 conveyors to the 6 shelves. The process flow is created by combining these 4 connection methods. Next, this section will explain about setting the transport method between processes. When a process flow is generated, a diamond icon is displayed between the processes. This diamond icon defines the transport method of products between processes, and the transport method can be changed by right-clicking. When this is done with a transport controller selected, you can assign the transport of products between processes to humans connected to that transport controller. Also, if a transport controller is selected when creating a process flow, the process flow is created with the transport controller assigned to transport products between processes. By changing the transport controller used, you can change the transport method such as by a human or mobile robot. Delete the process flow. Using the explanation up until now, we will create a process flow going from the From Conveyor process to the Sync process. Select the Human Transport Controller, click the From Conveyor Process label, then the Buffer Process label, and then the To Conveyor Process label. Next, deselect the Human Transport Controller, and then click the Sync Process label. Here, we have created a process flow in which the human connected to the transport controller will transport the products from the From conveyor to the buffer and then to the To conveyor, and the conveyor will transport the products from the To conveyor to the Sync. If you play the simulation, the box will be transported. Also, selecting the Human Transport Controller and then going to the Component Properties window, Default tab, and clicking Show Traffic will show the path the human is using. Finally, we will explain how to delete a transport link. Under the Editor group, click Flow. To delete a transport link, right-click the diamond icon on the 3D world and press Delete. You can also delete the transport link by having the diamond icon selected on the 3D world or on the process editor and pressing the Delete key. Deleting a process from the process flow editor hides the transport link of that process. As the process flow has not been deleted, adding the process again to the process editor will show the transport link. If you need to delete the process and transport link on the flow steps, such as when setting the process flow again, delete the transport link first, then delete the process within the flow steps. This concludes our explanation on how to transport products by human. Thank you for watching.